Hello, I'm Ken Suzuki. Today's task is to put outside power box. So the plan is to make electric cord from that socket, go through this wall by making a hole to put power socket somewhere on that wall.
The reason I want to have an outside power socket is jacuzzi. By leaving the door open like this for a power cable, drafts coming inside the room, very cold in winter and not good for security as well. Any power socket in the house should be capable for the jacuzzi we purchased. However, if you want to make sure, check instructions, the power rating of the electric equipment. For this case, 2100 watt required for the operation. In order to check that enough electricity is supplied to this power socket, I did this. I prepared a dryer and connect to the power socket.
Switch on.
Came to the house electricity circuit box, checked one by one. Which circuit cuts off the dryer?
Next this.
The dryer sound stopped. This circuit is for the power socket. This circuit B32 means up to 32 ampere capacity before this circuit breaks. This means 32 ampere multiple UK domestic voltage supply 230 voltage equal 7360 watt can be used for the power socket and the area. So this assures this power socket is capable for that jacuzzi.
The first things you need is definitely this metal detector. So make sure the battery is replaced to the new. So let's try this one to the wall. I'm trying to make a hole on it.
Green light is okay, no metal behind the wall. Whereas there's metal behind the wall,
There's something metal behind this one.
so thoroughly check where you want to make a hole. So deciding the exact hole location
Around here I checked no metal behind it.
and go around outside the wall. I want to avoid drill into the middle of the brick, but somewhere between bricks. From the point of aerial cord,
To the horizontal way like this much and down this much, and do same thing on the wall inside.
and roughly understand where the hole would come and double check the area has no metal behind it. So let's make a hole into the wall.
I use a drill bit 16 milli. That's it. To begin with, just a normal drill, and next to the hammer drill. Just do it slowly. Around here, wasn't it? Change to a hammer drill and do just in one go, but slowly. I think it has gone through. Luckily, no metal pieces behind the wall.
However, this happened. The wall was broken.
Maybe this wasn't a good example. The hole completely shattered on this side. The reason being is because there's a brick layer on this side as well. This drill bit go into the brick in the middle of that and broke that last end of it. So I have to put
Mortar, man! How did I fix? First, put spare sealant tube on the hole and
cement mix with PVA glue.
a bit messy by using a hand, but base layer is done. Before the cement is dried, I got 10 mm pipe in a diameter to go through, instead of sealant tube top. So put the tube in from outside the wall, and this pipe remains in the wall. When the base layer was dried, I put another layer with mortar, which is less coarse than cement. Add PVA glue, not too much runny. leaving 1 to 2 millimeters of surface for the top layer.
Now late afternoon, now plaster bit.
I put a little bit too much, so removing it, and prepared very watery plaster.
The plaster surface is now dried, but surface itself is a little bit bumpy. So I put another coat, very thin layer, with a very fine plaster like this. This is very runny, very difficult to put this one onto the wall. So I might try to use like this brush. Maybe okay. Let's just wait.
The image of a plaster finishes like this. After that, I sanded and painted. The image of after sanded and painted. So the summary of what I've used: cement mix, mortar, plaster, and fine plaster. In order not to break a wall by drilling like this, start with a pilot hole by 8 or 10 mm drill bits and use 16 mm drill from both sides of the wall. I'm going to try this again in future. Now finally back onto the original task. Feed electric code from inside to outside. The cable I prepared was 1.5 square millimeters. This is capable up to 10 ampere, so this means 10 ampere multiple 230 voltage equal 2300 watt capable. Jacuzzi's power rating 2100 watt is within this capability. Feed through the cable into the base unit. As you see, I've already made a hole on the base unit and low plug on the wall. Preparing wiring for the amount it needs inside the power socket box. And connect brown wire to live, blue to neutral, and the bare metal wire to the earth on the switch unit.
Like this, wiring done. So after wiring is done, I bring this one back to inside. Some screws for the red rope plug. This unit to this unit, there's a rubber seal inside this ditch, so it doesn't need to be worried about water ingress. All screws done, seems to be okay. Good fit, and put those into the corner like that.
Outside power box is fit. I put sealant in the gap later. Next is to do inside. Before starting to take off the switch cover or wiring, make sure to cut out the electric power supply on this power socket, as found out by the circuit on the circuit board, or I normally switch off everything, a whole house power, by like this.
This cuts off all house electricity, like this.
I'm going to replace the base unit as it's cracked. So removing the cover and taking off wires from switch unit and the base unit. I could feel the wall with the fixing is breaking so soft. Instead of using broken part, I decided to use the other 3 fixing part. Managed to fit row plug for 3 fixing areas, and again the plaster to repair the wall. After repairing wall, I made a holes on the base unit where necessary, feed through the wire, and fix base unit onto the wall. The base unit fit wasn't exactly flat, so I made a hole elongated to bring this side down to make better horizontal condition. 3 fixings now fit okay. Use trunking from the hole on the wall. Make sure to buy a trunking with adhesive tape at the back of it. This is a very good product. Put trunking with electric wire in order to know the exact length of the wire. Imagine enough length of wiring for the switch unit and cut off. Don't cut too short.
Okay.
Going through the hole into the box and strip the wiring. Try not to damage the insulation of wires inside. If you damage an insulation, make sure metal part of wires are not touching each other. Put rubber insulation tape to stop that happens. My advice is just make a very fine cutting line and trying to strip the rubber insulation by force. The other wiring strip is done. Roughly understand where wirings are connected inside switch unit. Red and brown for live, black and blue for neutral, and green and bare metal one for the earth.
So now it's all connected. Just to check, pull a little bit. And this one back on.
Screws on.
Power on. All done. Let's check on this socket first.
This is okay. And next is to check outside socket.
Check outside. Connection from outside one. Come inside.
And this has gone to okay as well.
It seems working at the moment.
Later days, I used outside power box for a lawnmower. And most importantly, now I'm trying jacuzzi power socket.
After about 24 hours, the water becomes hot water, 40 degrees. Starting bubbles.
The jacuzzi kept hot water more than a week without any problems. Success.